Hello, welcome to Authentically You, where you're guided by light and you have all the power. So, I have a lot to talk about today. I always have a lot to talk about. There's always things to say when it comes to this topic, and I often find it difficult to narrow it down to what I want to talk about specifically, but I just got a major download today, and I really want to talk about it because I want to get it out there and see if we can make this happen. And I mean, if it came through, I am confident that we can make this happen. And so yeah, so I've been on TikTok talking about how the government and those that are in power at the moment are using fear tactics to get people to stay paralyzed in fear. And I've been talking and encouraging people to not letting fear paralyze you, because that's what keeps you stagnant and stuck. But also, that's the way that those in power use fear to keep you paralyzed, to keep you from knowing your true power, knowing that you can create your own reality, that your attention is more powerful than you realize, and that's why we are so susceptible to being easily manipulated, because we're always reading something or seeing something in the news. That's how the media is used to get our attention that way. They use headlines that cause fear, that to keep people on survival mode. And this is something that we've been conditioned to be for centuries. It's been passed down to us through generations, through our ancestors, through their trauma that was never healed and cleared, because we were conditioned to feel like shit about ourselves, to feel like we're worthless. And that's what we're being called to do now, is to find that worth within us, that self-worth. If you're not someone who's spiritual, you don't like the spiritual language, then I'm going to use psychological language. Find the self-worth within you. This system conditioned us to feel like shit about ourselves, because if we don't believe that we can achieve things, then we won't make an effort to try. And that's why we're given all this media stuff, lots of things to distract us, to keep us from going within, from taking a step back, to silence our minds. We're fed a lot of stuff to keep our mind busy with lots of different fear possibilities, right? Oh, there's always something new is being found in food everywhere, right? Some new disease, some new thing is contaminated. They're always putting that out there, right? To make you afraid of that. They're just doing all this, or they're threatening or implying that we might go into another world war, things like that. Like, they're doing a lot to make us almost submit, psychologically submit. You know what I mean? Like, because if we're afraid of them, then that makes it easier for them to continue manipulating us and continue, manipulating the narrative, shifting the narrative how they want, through our own fear and survival. But instead, I encourage everyone, we create our own environment based on our own identity, what we believe to be true about us. So, if you haven't done the inner work, if you still don't feel like you love yourself, if you still feel limited, I highly encourage you to go within, to work on shedding those projections that other people have placed on you, and you have just come to accept them as true, as who you are. Shifting yourself, going within and healing yourself will shift the collective, okay? If us as a collective, as a community, if we start shifting our attention from out there of what else is going wrong in the world to community, investing that attention into building our communities, loving each other through building those communities, through supporting each other, it's clear they don't want to help us, right? Because they want to keep us in this where we can't make something of ourselves, right? They want to keep the rich and elite limited because that way they hoard all the resources and things like that, right? And they use us as their slaves to keep that going, right? So at this point, it isn't about Republican or liberals. It's about humanity. Are you for or against humanity? Are you for or against human rights? That's what it comes down to. Gone are the days where you can hide behind that and let your fans speculate. I'm talking to celebrities, to influencers, people who were made who they are today by their own doing, obviously. I don't want to take credit from your own talent. You're obviously very talented, and that got you to where you are today. But also, your fans have helped you also build what you have. And at this point, or where we are in the world, there shouldn't be fans that are not sure what side you are on. There shouldn't be fans of you that have to speculate whether or not you side for or against humanity. If you have fans that can't tell what side you are on based on what you put out there, then you're on the wrong side. Because there are no more excuses. There are no more excuses to why you are silent. There are no more excuses to why you aren't doing anything to help. Yes, I'm gonna go there too. Okay, and I have an idea of how you can help. Okay, because I'm not here to just tell you what you're doing wrong or anything. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is actually to, hey, you want to collaborate? You want to work together? You want to do something about this while interacting with your engaging with your fans and showing your fans that you actually care about them, that you actually care about their well-being, their survival, then I have an idea. Okay, so stick with me. I took notes. So this message is for celebrities, artists, corporations that have millions and millions and billions of dollars, okay? Like I said, we are at this point in history where the excuses are gone. It's time to use your voice to show what side are you really on. It's not about Republican or liberals at this point. It's about, are you for or against humanity? Okay? So this is my challenge for you, celebrities, artists, anyone who is watching this, who has the ability to help, okay? I have an idea, and this was inspired by Mr. Harry Styles. I'm a fan, by the way, but Your Love on Tour. was an inspiration for this because actually I think one of your songs was playing while I was getting ready. And it's like Love on Tour, but more love, less capitalism. Okay? So, Love in Action, a community tour. Okay, and it's a global healing through music, magic, and movement. Okay, and like I was talking about how we channel that energy, like the frustration. Like, yes, the shit happening right now is horrible. It's terrible and it makes me angry every day. But I feel that absorbing the energy of that anger and letting it get stuck in our bodies is not good. It's not good. And I think we need to use that anger and channel it into pouring it into our communities, pouring it into ourselves, pouring it into helping each other, loving each other, right? Because it's clear that those in power do not want to help us. They don't want to improve things. They want to keep us in this us against them, us against each other, that kind of thing, right? They don't really want us to be united. And this is a way to promote that unity, to transmute the energy. So taking that anger and transmuting it through singing, through dancing. We still have a touring movement of concerts headlined by artists and funded by corporations ready to show up for their communities. So it's a collective healing through unity and transmutation, like I said. We aren't waiting for those in power to do something. We're the ones that are the shift. We shift things. And so this is just brainstorming ideas. So I'm putting what I have out there. If anyone else wants to put anything, has a better idea, or wants to something that we can do, I am all ears. Because so this is a kind of a structure that I noted down. Concerts with a cause. Sliding fee scale. We could have a sliding fee scale for the tickets, or it could be donation based, or free. It could be free entry, but it's supported by brand sponsors. So it could be free if it's sponsored by some corporation or something that buys all the tickets and then makes it be free for everyone. All proceeds go to community housing or food programs, local mutual aid or healing collectives, environmental restoration projects. Trauma-informed care and mental health support as well. Corporate sponsorships with purpose. So brands must meet ethical criteria, right? Because why would we want... Anyway, so no exploitative capitalism. These brands are investing in community regeneration. And so sponsors fund the logistics, the venues, the travel, the gear, to make the shows accessible to everyone. And if there are other ways that they can also contribute, I mean, it's not limited to these things that I'm talking about. It could be more than that, but these are just some stuff I'm throwing out there. And then the energetic layer behind this, each tour stop, it's an activation portal. So we could have guided visualizations, moments of silence for collective grief, and moments of dance for collective joy. Like I was talking, like transmuting the energy. So we'll take the moment to grieve, but then we'll also like dance and enjoy each other's company, and like just, there's just love, like Love on Tour, Local spiritual leaders, healers, and artists can be woven into the thing too. And well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us will be there too, just as to have our own frequency there to continue resonating with the collective as well. And so this is my challenge to artists, to celebrities, okay? Anyone that has the capacity to help with this, okay? If you say you care, show it, okay? This isn't the time to use your platform for black boxes or to sing Imagine in your $1 million home while everyone else is starving and losing their housing because they can't afford to live there because wages, everything is freaking expensive and they won't raise wages, okay? While you watch the rest of us suffer, like, come on. You could do more than that. All right? And I'm saying this with love. Partner with us. Donate your voice. Sponsor a city. Make donations. Join the lineup. If you're an artist, join the lineup. Create a one night only set list that's meant to move souls and raise the collective consciousness. This isn't about ego, it's about impact, okay? And this is what love in action looks like. We're not just watching history, we're rewriting it with higher frequency, okay? If we could make this happen, this will transform the collective in unimaginable ways, because not only are we, this is the way we can do something about it that that helps the community. So we're not just outside protesting, we're protesting by working together, building this kind of, this unity, right, where we unite those that have the resources to help and sponsor this, and then the community to working together to help each other out while we transmute this energy that's coming through, because things are gonna get worse, okay? Like, I'm not saying this to fearmonger. That's the last thing I want to do, but I'm saying we should do something to keep us busy and active and doing something toward bettering what's happening, to drown out the rest. And I'm not saying like let's ignore it. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's clear that they want our attention so that they could keep instilling fear in us. So I'm saying let's not give them the fear that they want, okay? Let's be angry. Let's feel those feelings and feel them out of our body, because we don't want them to stay in our body, because that can cause issues too, okay? So let's feel those feelings. Let's channel it and make this happen. If you are someone that can help, okay? This includes even if your job is included in any of these like functions and you have some connections, like if you want to volunteer, or not necessarily volunteer, right? I believe in equal energy exchange. So if you want to give some kind of energy toward this, like the universe will, whatever energy you put out in the world, the universe repays it back to you tenfold, okay? Especially if that's what you intend and that's what you believe, it will happen, okay? So, and this goes also for the millionaires, the influencers that have a lot of money. Your fans shouldn't be really asking you. They shouldn't have to ask you to do an angel tree, to donate money here or there. They should see that. Now, I'm not saying they should see that you give all the time. It's not about showing and performing either, but they shouldn't have to question it, because they should just see that you're that kind of person that gives back, especially to their community, and to, you should want to do that. That's, and that's the thing about us living in survival, is when, genuinely good people, but they're still in survival mode, it makes them, when they do get that money and they do, instead of investing it and giving back to the community, and I'm not saying giving it all back or anything. Obviously, you could still be wealthy and give back. We know of many celebrities that give back all the time, and they are still very rich, okay? But it's about having that survival mentality. They get to being successful and rich, and they still have that survival mentality, so they hoard their wealth. Instead of giving it back and investing it back into the universe, and the universe will keep giving you back. It's a whole back and forth. It's a co-creation with the universe, okay? And so if any celebrity that that wants to help in making this happen, any energy you pour into it, whatever it is, whether financial, whether performing, whether whatever, it will be returned back to you tenfold by the universe, because you're helping shift the collective, and because this is what we're meant to do, where we're meant to evolve, and you're helping with that, and you will be rewarded for it. So there's no need to worry about that. But this is your chance to show your fans that you really do care, that you care for the people that helped you get to where you are today. Okay? And I'm not saying it in an entitled fan kind of way. I'm saying it in put your money where your mouth is. Okay? And trust that the universe will reward you for it. It already has up to this point. That's why you have all the money you have right now. That's why you're so abundant now. So thank the universe by giving back to the community that's hurting right now, that's suffering. It honestly surprises me that no one has really done this yet, or done something big like that. Yes, we've had celebrities who have spoken out and have made it clear where they stand, and things like that, and maybe have made donations and stuff, but we could do better than this, guys. We could do a lot better than this. And if I was you, I would have already done something. But this is your chance to do it. And I'm saying this from pure love. Pure love, and it's coming straight from source. So it's their idea that came through me. So I'm just here with so much love in my heart. And I know, I really do know that there are good, genuinely good people who are famous now, who maybe are struggling with trying to figure out how they can help, because they see how broken everything is. And maybe right now they've asked spirit for guidance, and they're trying to see, they're waiting to see the moment, and they'll know that this is what it is. Who knows? Maybe this is a sign you've been looking for. For some of you, it will be, But if it's not this, if this is still not compelling enough to move you to do something about it, then find the cause that is enough to make you want to do something. Because again, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to be on the side of humanity? Why wouldn't you want to make it clear to your fans what side you're on? That one's one of the easiest things you could do, by the way. And why wouldn't you want to help? Why wouldn't you want to help make the world a better place? And all you need to do is use your voice, use your talent, create. Donate some of your money that the universe has provided for you through your fans that are currently suffering. If anyone wants to reach out to me to make any of this happen, links in my bio, or send me a comment, or I'll include my email in the description of this video. But let's make history. This could be something that could make history, really, really, truly. You have no idea how we, just getting the collective to raise their frequency, and knowing that we can unite and we can take care of each other when those that in power that are supposed to be looking after us aren't. They clearly are only looking after their own interests. So it's time to look after our own interests as well. And I think this is a good way to do it. In addition to going and finding that guidance within us, finding our joy, doing what makes us most happy, what makes us feel most alive. Tomorrow is not promised, guys. Now more than ever, with things that are happening in the world right now, there's going to be a lot of shifts. This is the point where some souls, Some souls are going to shift and will grow and expand. Some are going to stay stuck in their own old ways, and some are going to leave the earthly plane. That's, it's like a threshold moment for a lot of souls that's happening. And again, not saying this to fearmonger anyone, but more to say, what side of history do you want to be on? Okay? Because this is going to shift us into something great, something amazing. But stop living your life thinking that you have the rest of your life to figure life out. Start deciding now who you want to be. What is your dream? If you don't know what it is, just start creating, start doing things that make you happy. If you don't know what that is yet, try different things until you find what does resonate with you, what does connect with you, what does make you passionate and feel. For me, it's always been writing and words and things like that. And, that passion has only grown stronger the more. It's like I've opened the channel, now Spirit is like inspiring me, and it's exciting. It's very exciting. And yes, the work to get here to this point has been difficult, but it's also been worth it. And look at it this way too. Yes, there will be a bit more pain that you'll have to endure during this, because the pain is brought up for you to transmute it and heal it. But just know that you're clearing that pain. Okay? So moving forward, I'm not saying you're not going to feel pain anymore, but you'll get to the point where you'll feel so much peace that you'll be able to handle anything. You'll be okay. Like, you'll feel pain, but it won't be in the same way, because you've healed, and now you are someone who can process your feelings and move through the energy quicker, rather than letting it stay stuck and letting it keep you stuck and stagnant. Okay? So we've got this. I really do have faith in us. I see the shift. I see people showing their true colors in good and bad. Like, seeing how much people care, and I'm also seeing how much people don't care. And that's also sad to see. But I think it's all part of what's meant to happen. But if there's anything to remember is, even with whatever is happening in your situation, whatever stressful situation is happening in your life right now, just trust that is a step closer to your dream life, no matter what it is. Don't let any situation that comes up psych you out of your dream life. So once you decide what that life looks like for you, what your new identity is, what your higher self identity is, every action you make is toward that. And every situation that comes up is part of the unfolding to get you to that point. Okay? So don't let anything that anyone outside of you says to keep you from believing that it's possible, because it's possible. Okay? I've already had a few things manifest. Even this apartment itself is a manifestation, and it happens so quickly, so easily. Things happen so much easier when we just let go and let the energy guide us. It's like, yeah, it's hard to explain, but it's so much. You're in flow all the time, not just when you're creating, but like your whole day is in flow. You're living in flow without the stress, without I used to have really deep depressive episodes. I used to have really bad anxiety. And I haven't had that in over a year. And now it's just peaceful. Whenever I do feel any anxiety, it's usually I'm picking up someone else's emotions or my masculine's emotions too, because we have some telepathic shit going on. But it's usually not mine. Or like if it's something, sometimes if it's like my ego that tries to flare up a little bit, I'm easily able to tame it down by grounding myself again in my knowing and stuff. But it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be before. I'm very grateful to where I've gotten. And so I encourage you, anyone, who is curious about doing the inner work or getting started on following their own journey, you can follow my page here or on TikTok. I talk a lot about my journey. I've been on this journey for 5 years, and I talk a lot about that. I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. I'm just here to help you find yourself. So I always tell people, take what resonates. If you don't resonate with anything that I'm saying, then I'm not the soul you resonate with, but there might be another creator that you do resonate with. I'm not the only one that's been on this journey. There's been many people who've been on this journey. Some more spiritual than others. Some are not about spiritual at all. They're more just psychological, or there's something for every soul, really, to resonate for every soul, because again, this is a shift that's happening. So this rise of creators that's happening is to help shift the collective. And so that's why there's going to be things for every different soul. So whatever you resonate with will be out there for you. You just gotta, it'll find you. It'll find you. I was gonna say you just gotta look for it, but no, it'll find you. And that's something that I would highly recommend, is if you're new to this journey, let everything find you. If you go chasing it, you can. Obviously, you can do that. You have free will. But when you chase the knowledge and it can get exciting when you first awaken, finding the truth about everything. But that can get you in some dicey situations where you're not taking time to integrate, to rest and ground yourself. That integration is so important. And when you don't take the time to integrate, that's what could lead to things like spiritual psychosis or worse. Or even, there can be things where, you're just people who get grandiose feelings, or who truly believe they are God, but in a grandiose way, not in a, hey, you and I are both a part of God. We're both God living as humans, but not in a I'm better than you kind of way, more in the working together kind of way. I've seen a few creators on TikTok that have not been integrating, and they've resorted to spiritual coercion, and things like that, where if so I just highly encourage you to use your discernment. Anyone who tries to coerce you into giving them money as part of a soul contract or something, or who try to tell you that things are like this is the way they're supposed to be, and there's like very rigid, or try to set rigid structures around spirituality, those are all red flags, because spirituality is self-guided. Okay, so as long as you clear the stagnant energy, clear the projections, right? Clear the static, your intuition is always right. Okay, so your intuition is that internal guidance system, your higher self guiding you through this lifetime. Okay, so just because someone else is telling you it's wrong, it doesn't mean it's wrong. As long as you feel that it's right for you, it's okay. Okay? There's some people that, they feel that they've been on the journey longer, so they feel it's okay to talk down to those that are new to the journey, or just because they haven't been on the journey as long, they criticize the way that their journey they're talking about their journey or how they're doing their journey. And it's like, no, mind your own business when it comes to that kind of thing, in a loving way, obviously. But like, I'm not here to invalidate your experiences, but I do encourage you to because not doing the shadow work leads to distortion. So you can get, some intuitive nudges that can be distorted because of the energy that hasn't been cleared. So some of those nudges might not be necessarily fully aligned because of the distortion. So that's why it's important to do the clearing. But either way, it's all part of your journey. So whether you do take in all the knowledge you can get and get in a dicey situation, but then come back from it and, continue on, it was meant to be part of your journey. If you accidentally fell for someone who was coercing you spiritually and you gave them money and they scammed you, like, give yourself grace. That wasn't your fault. It's part of your journey. It's part of your lesson that you're learning. So don't beat yourself up for making mistakes during the journey. It's part of your lessons. It's part of your learning experience. As long as you just keep going, keep seeking yourself, keep going within, keep, learn from your mistakes. Okay, learn from the mistakes and do better next time, or else you keep getting stuck in the same cycles. Okay, take the time to integrate. So rest, take time to just do nothing at all. Don't create, don't read anything, go binge watch some mindless TV show to get your mind off things for a bit, to just connect with your body. Take a Epsom salt bath to reconnect with your body. Do those things because do little mundane things, because not only do they help you reconnect with your body, but they help you remind you that you're human, that you're still here to live on earth. Like, even when you ascend spiritually, when you raise your frequency, when you raise your consciousness, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't mean you go anywhere. Your body is still here. You're still here to live your life as an ascended being, as an ascended soul. Okay? So remember that. So remember that it's okay. Like, keep living your life. Keep doing mundane things. Keep working if that's what feels right for you. Just because I ended up quitting my job doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have to quit your job. That's up to you to determine when you check in with yourself, when you go on your journey. Like, I didn't just randomly decide to quit my job. Like, this was a process, a self-trust process for myself. And before I felt comfortable enough to take the leap, just because I did it doesn't mean everyone should. It doesn't require you to be fully unemployed with no plan. Do whatever feels right for you. If eventually you do want to not work, we all want to do that. And this is all part of the journey, is us building our own empire, our own business, and things like that. So keep working toward investing in yourself in whatever way that looks like, whether that's pouring more knowledge into yourself, pouring more by doing more of the things you'd like to do, pouring more into your ideas and getting inspiration and business ideas, things like that you want to create. Follow all those nudges. That's all part of building your business too. Even if you don't even know what business you want to create, you don't have to have all the answers. if you know you're meant to be an entrepreneur, you will be an entrepreneur, some kind of entrepreneur, or whatever, like whatever you want to call it. If you want to be a celebrity, if you want to be, you will be. You just have to start embodying that. Even if you don't know what kind of famous person you're going to be, just start imagining what that's going to look like for you as a, because you're gonna be famous and you're gonna be rich, right? So what is that gonna look like for you? Okay. And that's what's gonna happen with these new wave of people that are gonna become more famous, that are gonna become celebrities and gain wealth. They're gonna give back to the communities. They're gonna create their own communities with those funds, with the funds that they receive. They're gonna find a way to keep regenerating that abundance within their communities as well. That's how it should be, because they trust that they trust how the universe works, and they trust that whatever energy they give, they will get back. So we're headed in the right direction. It might look a little scary in some moments, but again, that's when I encourage you, don't absorb, observe, and channel that anger, channel the frustration into doing loving things for yourself, for your family, for your community. Okay? Do the things that make you feel the most alive, the things that make you feel the happiest. Tomorrow's not guaranteed for us, okay? Don't live like if you have plenty of time to live, and you don't want to be on your deathbed regretting what you should have done, how you should have lived. And who knows, you might not be lucky enough to even get a deathbed. Okay, so I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm saying this to motivate you to find yourself. Okay, and if you need help getting there, feel free to reach out to me. My mentorships are open and available for you, and I'm more than happy to help you get there. Okay? All right. Well, you're doing the best with what you can, and that is more than enough. Okay? I love you. Have a great day.